Now, I would like to introduce Dan Smith, Solutions Marketing Manager, and Theresa Larkin, Solutions Marketing Manager. Now I'll hand it over to Dan, who will get us started with the presentation. Dan, the floor is now yours.
Thanks, and just want to let you guys know we really appreciate the opportunity to present to you today. To kick things off, Theresa is actually going to get us started. So, Theresa, if you would like to hop in.
Great. So, to kind of give you a better idea, Dan and I both are on the same team. He handles MiCloud Flex, and I handle MiCloud Connect. So that's why you get both of us today. And we're going to kick it off with a little overview on who Mitel is for those of you who might not be as familiar with it. And Mitel's really been around from the beginning. We started off, as you probably know, as a telecom hardware company and have made it all the way into the cloud. And what you may not know is a couple of these stats on the screen is that we are #1 in total cloud seats. And what we mean by that is private and public. And that's a unique niche for Mitel that we can offer both UCaaS solutions as well as private virtualized cloud solutions, depending on different business needs. And you also see on the screen that we are #2 in UCaaS worldwide as well. So that means that the Connect and Flex type subscription services. And we were recently named leader in the Gartner Magic Quadrant for UC for the 5th year in a row. And also I'd like to highlight that we are one of the only communications provider in all three. So that's UCaaS, UC, and Contact Center. We've also been working this summer busy with the MLB, and we'll give you a customer story later on how they're leveraging MiCloud Flex, one of the teams. And also we've been promoting that at different roadshow events. So if you haven't had a chance to get to one of them, I recommend you check it out. I think there's about a dozen more. And we're giving a good overview of our cloud and how Mitel is the best path to cloud. So you'll get a little sample of that today, but you'll notice kind of baseball is a big theme for Mitel this summer and into the fall. So here are some customers that work with us, and you'll see some sports teams on there. You'll see healthcare. You'll see hospitality. What I want to emphasize here is that we are working with businesses across the board. That we have a couple niche verticals, but otherwise we aren't really tied to one or another. And the reason is because our solutions offer unique applications for different types of verticals. And we also have solutions that are designed for each type. And we have found that businesses, specifically on the screen, have chosen us because when they purchase something today, they know that they're not confined or stuck with that in the future and have a clear path moving forward in their communications and collaboration solution. So now let's dive into what's in it for you as a partner and a reseller, and how should we go, and why should you sell Mitel? So we like to highlight that we do have a broad portfolio of solutions, and today we're covering MiCloud Connect and MiCloud Flex, and they are truly designed to be complementary of one another. MiCloud Connect is a little bit more simple, whereas MiCloud Flex is a little bit more robust and complex. And we'll go into that a little bit on the next slide. But what I want to kind of highlight here is that we offer you choice, and we make it easy for not only the customer, but you as a partner. And how we do that is making it easy to quote, making it easy to engage with our sales team. We have a ton of support ready for you between field marketing and dedicated account managers, cloud specialists. We have a lot of different avenues for you to leverage, and that's just the employee base. We also have a ton of resources for you, a clear training guide for you. So if you're new to either of these two solutions, you can get certified in them. There's full training programs dedicated to these solutions so that you can feel confident when selling it and know when to sell what. We also have been investing a ton of time in investments in customer experience. We truly believe as a service company, it's no longer you're buying the product and you're managing it yourself. It's a service. We need to win customers over day after day, and you also need to be confident knowing that we are going to be delivering on our promise. So some things that we've made, we're really trying to make the activation onboarding experience pretty seamless, minimal disruption to businesses. A couple things that we've been working on is not only adding employee bandwidth and more employees to help, but also tools to automate it. So we have new plug-and-play provisioned phones. So it's as simple as literally plugging it in and it registers with the user. we are, on the Connect side, we are going to be releasing an auto onboarding tool so that the partner or the customer could do it themselves, and it's for 50 users or less, but it's just a little wizard that walks you through step by step on how to get a new user added or a large bulk of users at once. We also have different tiers for our customer success so that we can segment our different types of customers and different needs and flag them as important, and that can just have standard questions so that we have different tiers and can prioritize accordingly. And what we're trying to do is reduce churn, create happy customers, and in turn give you a long-term MRR you can plan on with happy customers, and it should make that transitional process a lot easier. Also showing our commitment, we recently released a new partner program, a new partner portal, tons of new assets, all consolidated. We've really spent a lot of time over the past year trying to figure out what is going to be the best program and what's in it for you to make you excited to work with Mitel and easy to work with Mitel. And like I said, we do have those dedicated account managers, cloud specialists, for those of you who are maybe still, getting your feet wet in the cloud space, inside sales that are closing channel leads for you. We're really trying to do as much as possible for you so that you get the lead and you can close the deal. And then also with any cloud service, we want to make sure that you and your customers are feeling confident in our solution. So we've been putting more effort and investments into our reliability and customer support, like I said, but making sure that our data centers are running on the latest and greatest, making sure that our TAC has enough support. We have a 24/7 global NOC that is monitoring our systems at all times so that we can get any issues resolved proactively. So we're finding that our percentage more and more is increasing, that we are getting noticing things either proactively or before any customers even notice, so that we can alleviate anything before it disrupts any customer business. So lots of things going on in the customer experience, the products, and the network, as well as the channel experience. So make sure you check it out. We are rolling out a new video, and you can find it on our YouTube channel of our global sales leader, Todd Abbott, and he's walking you through kind of these top 4 things that I just went through. So I encourage you to check out our YouTube channel. There is a playlist with a series of videos that kind of go into this a little bit more. So on the next slide, I'll go over the differences between these 2 UCaaS solutions and why do we have 2. So we truly believe that one size doesn't fit all in communication. So that's why we have 2 complementary solutions. And at first, it might seem like, okay, why do we have 2? How do I know when to lead with what? But once you get an understanding of the 2 and kind of get your hands on them, you'll understand that they really are designed for different business needs. So MiCloud Connect is designed for those users that just want plug and play. They want out-of-the-box solutions. They don't really want to spend a lot of time managing their communication system. Maybe that's why they're moving to the cloud, to alleviate some of that bandwidth. It is a complete UCaaS solutions with contact center, team collaboration in it. It comes with a bunch of native integrations and advanced apps, so that also reduces the professional services needed, which also therefore reduces the amount of time and implementation. So we're able to spin up these customers pretty fast because there's nothing unique customization, there's no unique architecture designated for them, and it is a multi-tenant solution. So that means that it's a shared architecture, but they each get their own instance. And so it is encrypted, it is secure, but they're just using that. So when they get, so what the benefit is that they don't have to manage those upgrades or those maintenance, and they get it automatically. So it's a really hands-off solution on the admin side, and we make it really admin friendly, even if you don't have a telecom background, so that these automatic upgrades are happening, but you also get control over when your users, you can choose when their users get the permission, so you as an admin can make sure that you feel comfortable before you walk into the office someday and have a bunch of users confused at what's going on. So there are some automatic upgrades, such as like UI changes and web version things that will happen automatically without your control, but things like new features that are large or new applications, that'll be a simple toggle for you as an admin to do. And one of the other benefits is with MiCloud Connect is the admin can be you, the partner. So If you have prospects that are a little bit smaller, maybe they don't have a large IT, or they just don't want to deal with it, the partner can do it for them. On the flip side, we have MiCloud Flex, and this is also an end-to-end solution, just like MiCloud Connect with the UC contact center, team collaboration, and both solutions also offer Mitel phones. What you'll get with MiCloud Flex is more advanced contact center capabilities, and this is designed for businesses that have a large emphasis on contact center. Maybe they're trying to differentiate their business with their customer experience and delivering these unique automated tools for their customers. It'll give you a little bit more APIs, open medias, things that you can really customize those workflows or work around proprietary software that the customer has. We find that specifically in different verticals where they have specific, proprietary solutions that they need to integrate with that don't normally come natively. MiCloud Flex also gives a little bit more control over the maintenance windows because it's a dedicated instance, so that customer just gets their own instance, which means they get more control over when those releases happen, maintenance windows, version control, and we find more and more common for verticals that are sensitive to data like healthcare and finance. And not only is it because of the dedicated instance, but also because we also have a little bit more compliance and geo-redundancy options on the Flex side. So MiCloud Flex is HIPAA and SOC 2 compliance, which naturally tends to drift the healthcare and finance verticals that way. But both solutions are secure. MiCloud Connect delivers 4 nines, whereas MiCloud Flex we can deliver 5 nines due to our new geo-redundancy options, which Dan will go over a little bit further. It is new to MiCloud Flex in the latest release. So it kind of depends. At the end of the day, when you're having these conversations, and we'll go over some qualifying questions later, but really sit back and think, okay, what is most important to my customer? Is it the feature set? Is it are there certain features that are deal breaker? Is it the amount of control over the network? Kind of really get understanding why they're changing communications solutions and what's the key things. And what we don't want you to do is get into a feature to feature comparison, because you'll end up confusing yourself and the customer. And you should be doing this discovery prior to proposing one solution over another. It shouldn't really ever be where you're going into a conversation proposing both. We recommend that you go up front and then have a good understanding of their needs and then propose either or. So on the next slide, I'll go over kind of the Connect side and who are our ideal prospects for MiCloud Connect, and then Dan will take it and do the same thing for MiCloud Flex, so you can get an understanding of who our targeted audiences are for the both. So for MiCloud Connect, we look for businesses that really want a hands-off communication solution. They want it easy, plug and play. Not only is it easy to onboard and quickly, but also the UI is very intuitive for not only the end user, but the admin. I've talked to a lot of customers who said, I was a little worried when my boss raised the hand for me to manage this telecom system. I don't have a telecom background. I was a little nervous, but once they get into the admin portal, they realize how easy it is. There's no telecom IT background really required. It gives them real-time access to make these changes, lots of different toggles and buttons, and it's very intuitive. Another prospect to look out for is somebody that just really needs those out-of-the-box standard features, nothing too fancy or customized, because we do have a large portfolio of native integrations and advanced apps. They get options to customize their solution, but it's not with APIs and things like that. Maybe they have a budget constraint. You'll find that because there's now not a lot of add-ons on MiCloud Connect or customization of professional services, and then it is kind of just off-the-shelf solution. It is pretty straightforward. Once you get the proposal and the quote, you have a pretty good understanding of what your monthly cost is going to be. Whereas with MiCloud Flex, it is going to be a little bit more costly due to that additional level of geo-redundancy and that dedicated instance and control. So you get what you pay for a little bit, but this really does suit most businesses' needs and gives them the confidence that they can run their business worry-free and also be able to manage it themselves. Also look for businesses that are fast-growing. Maybe they need fast implementations. We find this specifically for multiple locations, or they just know that they're going to be opening up across the globe and need to really implement fast. I spoke to some of those tools earlier, but we also have different global numbers, and we'll be rolling out World Cloud global users shortly on the MiCloud Connect side that gets those users up and running fast as well. Automatic upgrades, like I said, that way they don't have to worry about doing anything on their end. They just get the upgrades and they can choose to release it to their users when they're comfortable, but they don't really have to do anything. And especially if they're coming from an on-site world, that's probably one of the driving forces to the cloud for them, that they don't want to spend so much time managing their phone system. Another thing to look out for is MyVoice Connect customers that are looking to migrate to the cloud. The reason we highlight that one is because it does share a common code base, so they are going to get pretty much the same feature set, pretty much the same end user experience. The main difference is the back end, and that migration path is pretty streamlined, and we have a really strong program in place to really minimize disruption for businesses. And they can also choose to do it in stagger it, so if they want to do one location at a time, they're welcome to do that as well. So let's dive into some use cases to kind of bring those ideal prospects to life. Like I said, limited IT. They really want an affordable, easy-to-use solution. We've had customers that don't even have an in-house IT staff, and we find a lot of like SLED customers in this space and government, and they're really looking for kind of an ease, hands-off, and maybe the partner's managing it for them or a third-party managed service IT company. So why do we call that out? Because of that portal that I mentioned, and I recommend that you get a demo from anyone from Mitel, or if you want to look at the training videos, I recommend that. Just getting yourself familiar with MiCloud Connect, because when we say easy, you probably are thinking that a lot of UCaaS solutions are pretty easy. What makes it easier? And you really don't, it doesn't really click for a lot of people until they truly get their hands on the client and the portal and get to see how intuitive it is. They also, the partner access is a big selling point for a lot of people, so that that truly want that hands-off approach. Those native integrations, minimal professional services, it allows the end user to work in the solutions that they already work in every day. We have Salesforce, Zendesk, Skype for Business, things like that. So we don't want to disrupt, and the end user gets to kind of choose where they want to live and breathe every day, whether that's using soft phone or the desk phone or the integration clients. And those automatic upgrades. Fast provisionings, maybe it's a franchise, maybe they just are growing super fast and have multiple locations that they need to replicate. Connect really delivers that easy plug-and-play provisioning. It's easy for us to replicate because it is that off-the-shelf solution, and those professional services kind of are minimized there. And that consistent user experience across locations. So there's extension dialing that you can see people's presence, and we can make sure that they're in the same tenant so that you're getting that seamless experience across locations, and it doesn't really matter where the user's located. It also has built-in VPN so that users can work from anywhere and know that their system is secure. And simple contact center. So MiCloud Connect Contact Center is integrated, and it's called MiCloud Connect Contact Center, and it's designed to be simple. It's multi-channel, and I'll go into a little bit different details in a little bit about it, but it does check the box for a lot of businesses. It just doesn't give you that additional feature set of social media and integration and customization options. So it is easy to use and affordable. Each contact center license comes with a UC license too, and they can choose to mix and match service plans. So if they want some on the lower tier and some on the higher tier, they're welcome to do that. And each contact center license comes with a UC, but they can also change and upgrade that UC plan as well. So we really give them the flexibility to customize those service plans to fit each individual user and team's needs. And the prepackaged features, again, make that implementation really easy and streamlined for us, for you, and the customer. So we'll go over some of the in-depth product. Like I said, MiCloud Connect is an end-to-end solution, and why we say that is because everything is built in-house. We really don't rely on any third parties, and the reason we do that is so that we can have full control over the customer experience and full control over the life cycle of the products and releases. So a couple things that are kind of unique to us as Mitel is we do build our own phones, we build our own contact center solutions, and really try to deliver that seamless experience and that total solution. So there's only one vendor to manage. It can quickly add up between contact center, video, screen sharing, phones. Before you know it, you have 5 different vendors, and even if they are white labeled, they're all not designed to work with one another all the time. So that end-to-end solution is really a differentiator for us. MiCloud Connect comes with a team collaboration solution called Mitel Teamwork, and that'll give you those persistent chat rooms, and I'll go over that in a separate slide. Mobile, both the Connect client has a mobile application, and so does Mitel Teamwork. The contact center solution, which I went over, and then application integration. So the full variety, and on the screen you'll see a 400 series phone, our G Suite integration, the mobile app, and then the client. And I'll go over those in the details in the next couple of slides. So in the next one, let's go over the Connect client. This is where the end user lives and breathes every day. It's a single panel, and you'll see this is the fully expanded version, but I could condense that all the way to the skinny left panel on the left side of the screen where Marcy's name is. It can condense, it can move, but there's only one window, and we really try to alleviate the plugins and the pop-up windows because, as we all know, it can get a little crazy on your computer screen if you have 5 different screens popping up. You can miss conversations and things like that. So it's really a streamlined user experience, and it gives the end user full control over their preferences. They can change their presence routing. So if they're in a meeting, have it route directly to my voicemail. If I'm out of the office, have it route to my cell phone. And they can really kind of control that. They also can control their cell phone and voicemail and all those other preferences. Their contacts and recents and voicemails, there's messages. And events is a big thing. From the client, you'll see in the middle panel, those are the events that are for that day. And it's integrated with Outlook. It also has Dropbox integration if you want to attach different files. But it just pops up, integrates with Outlook. Once you create the meeting, then it'll pop up just like you would a normal Outlook meeting, and you can add attachments that way as well. And if you are having a meeting with non-Connect users, then you can easily have them access it through a web URL and get the same features. So once you're in the meeting, there's screen sharing, web, video, or phone conferencing, audio conferencing. There's different meeting tools for you to keep them on track and minimize interruption and people who forget to mute and things like that. So it's really a total meeting experience as well. On the G Suite Chrome extension, they also can integrate with G Suite through that extension, and not through this client, but a good example of how we integrate in a variety of ways. So on the next slide, I'll go over our team collaboration tool. And Mitel Teamwork is designed to work with MiCloud Connect, and it's a mobile and web solution for Android and iOS. Any Chrome, you can go Chrome browser, you can go to most common, Firefox, things like that. Most web browsers are supported. And it's included with all of our UC profiles. So Essentials, Premium, really are the top 3. And so it's really, again, all in one, like I said. And it's private and public workspaces, so teams can send and receive messages, create, assign, and manage tasks, share files. And sometimes we find that, you're going back and forth in these chat rooms and it's just not going anywhere. So it's sometimes easier to pick up the phone. So you can initiate an ad hoc conference within it, and it'll alert all the workspace members. And if some want to join and some don't, that's fine. But they can choose to join it, and they'll get that real-time alert. It is secure. We have a lot of people asking, okay, if I'm sharing files, how do I know that it's safe? And we do have a variety of securities, especially end-to-end encryption on it. On the next slide, I'll go over Contact Center, which I pretty much touched on. So again, it's an integrated experience, so you get that presence, extension dialing, multi-channel capabilities, and it also delivers reporting and workforce management integration, CRM integration. So I recommend that you get familiarized with the portfolio of integrations, advanced apps we have. There's a bunch of different ones, especially for the contact center one, and to get enhanced reporting and call recording experiences and things like that. On the next slide, I'll go over quickly on the architecture. With any cloud solution, people ask, how do I know that it's going to be secure, especially if they're coming from an on-site world, they're losing kind of some of that control. And we want to make sure that they're confident that their solution will work, because the phone is the heart of every business. And we're running on Tier 4 data centers, 4 nines availability with financial penalties in our SLAs if we don't deliver. Each application layer is redundant, and we have redundancies at all layers, so infrastructure, application layer, you name it. And we are creating snapshots and backups continually, so that if we do need to, if a bug arises, we can roll it back, and that's on an individual tenant base too. So really can kind of tailor that experience and have more control over the upgrades and the making sure that it's safe and backed up. And then we also have secure RTP and encryption to ensure that anything transmitted across the system is secure and can't be hacked. On the next slide, I'll give you a little snapshot of those service plans that I mentioned. We have 3 UC profiles, which is Essentials, Premier, and Elite. You'll see Essentials checks most of the box. Premier delivers the integration and applications. And then Elite is designed more for supervisors that need call recording, operator functionality, a little bit more supervisor functionality. And then to kind of round out the MiCloud Connect story, we'll give you an example of a customer we worked with. And like I said, we do have quite a few customers in the SLED space on MiCloud Connect. Due to its ease and cost savings, there's no surprises when they get the bill of the month. And Orion Township is a good example of that. So they were, for their city, they were just looking to migrate from their legacy PBX solution and save costs, but also they were frustrated with having to pay and use free applications. Not only was it hard for them to manage, but they also were worried about the security of people using free applications as well. So they really liked the all-in-one, and they also didn't have a huge IT department with a telecom background. So really, we're excited to hear that they had options in terms of support and admin options. And you'll see on the screen that they were able to save 10% by moving to MiCloud Connect and also enjoy our help services. So within the hardware is a help button, and it's literally just a one-touch, and they can connect to support. Within the UI, they can connect to videos. There's knowledge-based articles. They can chat us quickly. So there's a lot of different ways that their end users and their admin can get access to support. They also really liked that it was an all-in-one. So now they leverage the mobile app, the contact center solution, and have a full, complete solution. So they're eliminating those free applications that their end users were doing and feel a lot more secure at the end of the day. So with that, I will pass it off to Dan, who will give you an overview of MiCloud Flex.
Thanks, Theresa. So a lot of really great information about MiCloud Connect. I'm going to focus right now on MiCloud Flex, and as Theresa mentioned, MiCloud Flex is really complementary to MiCloud Connect because it is a different architecture in the sense that it's a dedicated instance, and that provides a lot of different things. And so to kick things off, I'll give you a look at some ideal prospects and things to look for when you're speaking to customers and consulting with them, and when MiCloud Flex might be a good option for them. So first of all, MiCloud Flex is named for its flexibility, its ability to customize. But what exactly does that mean? That's a question that I get a lot. Really, when we speak about customization, for the most part, customization is seen on the side of the contact center. So if you have a client that has a large part of their business driven by their contact center, or maybe they have complex needs, they have kind of an unusual way that they interact with customers, and maybe they just want to really differentiate their customer experience. I'll cover this a little bit later, but I mean, more and more, the customer experience is really driving people's decisions whether to work with a business, and therefore, we really like to promote MiCloud Flex and its ability to differentiate those customer experiences. And one of the ways we do that is through advanced omni-channel routing. So as a customer is taken through the journey, they're going to be interacting with a business in a lot of different ways. And in the modern day, customers want to be able to interact through social media. They want to be able to interact through SMS in certain cases, chat, email. And with MiCloud Flex, you have the ability to keep those interactions referenceable throughout the life cycle of the customer, whether they need to get escalated to a different channel or the conversation ends and it's picked up on a different day. So with MiCloud Flex, you really have a consistent experience with the customer and have the context to really provide a different customer experience to them. In addition, if you run into someone who's really worried about downtime or given a lot of the natural disasters recently, MiCloud Flex has the ability to add geo-redundancy to it. And in addition to that, it's got certain levels of security and compliance that are added on in addition to what MiCloud Connect already provides. Also, if you have clients that are looking for control over when their maintenance windows happen, and this is really crucial for a lot of businesses. They want to know exactly when updates are going to be pushed, even if they're only down for 5 minutes. In certain cases, there are businesses that just really need control over when those maintenance windows occur. And with release windows, it comes down to it's a training question. So if we're pushing new features to MiCloud Flex or maybe some UI changes, and they want to have a little bit more control over training their employees before those updates go live, then they can do that with MiCloud Flex. And then, of course, MiCloud Flex, as you may or may not know, is built upon MyVoice Business, which is one of our really robust on-site products, and it's a very popular one. So if there are any customers that are looking to move from a MyVoice Business system to a UCaaS solution, MiCloud Flex is going to be an incredibly seamless user experience for them. And they're really not going to lose any functionality, and they'll just have all of the benefits of moving to a cloud solution. So now let's talk about some use cases. And I talked a little bit about customer experience. So we did a study with a company called Walker recently, and according to them, by the year 2020, the customer experience is going to outweigh both the price and the product itself in terms of a buyer making a decision. So because of that, it's incredibly important to be able to differentiate your customer experience. If you have a customer experience that's identical to your competitors, and even worse, your chances are you're going to be losing business there. And Flex has the benefit of being able to integrate custom applications and third-party applications through its open API and its very robust API. And then we also have the ability to integrate with open media. We have some customers that are integrating with electronic health records, with CRMs, with ERPs, and having that information in your contact center can be a really powerful thing. As I mentioned before, you have a really persistent conversation. Your customers are, they can be routed to the same agent every time, and even if not, the agent that picks up that case is going to have all of the context of the previous conversations, regardless of what channels they were speaking to you through. And then we, of course, have some out-of-the-box integrations as well, and IT frameworks for cloud services. So in terms of compliance, if you run into a business that handles a lot of sensitive information and they want to provide their customers with added affirmation that their data is going to be secure, if they're in an industry like healthcare and they require HIPAA compliance for patient information, or if they're in the banking or finance industry, Flex is both HIPAA and SOC 2 compliant. So, that checks off a box for a lot of specific verticals and customers that are just concerned about security. In addition, because it's a dedicated instance, they have that additional, the additional layer of protection, just not having multiple customers on a single instance. And then, having the ability to integrate with proprietary software. In these specific verticals, typically you'll see a piece of software they need to integrate with that you may not see across any other industry. And then finally, enhanced availability. If they're a critical operation and they really can't accept any downtime, Flex provides an additional layer of uptime. With geo redundancy, we can provide 5 nines of uptime for core telephone functionality. And then there's also optional add-ons for local survivability gateways. And then, having that control over the maintenance and release windows is also important for those critical operations. So here we can see a couple screenshots. I mean, I'd just like to, readdress that MiCloud Flex is a complete UCaaS solution. We have MiCloud Flex Contact Center, which is natively integrated with your collaboration systems, which are called MiCollab. You can also see that there's a mobile client on here. And we've also added something called MiTeam, which is very similar to Teamwork, to MiCollab. I'll talk about that in a little bit more detail later. But really, if you're conferencing, if you're screen sharing, if you're needing to go from a chat and escalate it to a conference call with multiple parties, you can absolutely do that. And then one other thing I'd like to point out on here is, we have the MiCloud Edge Gateway, which is a software-defined WAN. And what that allows you to really analyze your internet capacity and then prioritize, the critical business applications so that, regardless of if you have fluctuations in bandwidth, you'll be sure that those critical applications are operating to the best of their ability. So I spoke about this on the last slide a little bit. So what is MiTeam? MiTeam is fully integrated with MiCollab, and that provides for seamless interactions. But it provides persistent workspaces where teams can get together. If they're very project-driven, if they're knowledge workers that operate needing a lot of input, I mean, obviously the power of a team should be larger than the sum of its parts. And MiTeam really enables you to do that. So it has streams where you can manage active projects, and it's a single unified display. So all of that information, all of the context for the project is in a single space where all team members can interact and add to the conversation. Chat, of course, it's pretty simple, but it's powerful that it provides a single space for all of those conversations to happen to where you can reference back to them in case you have a question or if you invite new team members. In addition to that, one advantage of MiTeam is that we do have guest access. So let's say there's someone outside of your company that you need to bring into the conversation and get input to. I mean, Mitel works with a number of partners, and so being able to pull people in when we need their expertise is a great ability of MiTeam. You can also create pages and to-dos. So to-dos are just simple tasks that you can assign a stakeholder to, but that provides accountability that you can go back and see the progress of that and really celebrate when items are checked off and projects are closed out. And then in addition, let's say we need to meet as a team to get together. You can pretty easily with MiTeam just pull all the team members together and set up a live collaboration session. Even if you're not scheduling it ahead of time, it's really easy to just pull everybody in on an ad hoc basis. So MiCloud Flex Contact Center, we've discussed this a little bit, but we've got a couple screenshots here so you can get familiar with it. It's built off of My Contact Center Business 9.0, and that's a recent release that we just pushed to MiCloud Flex. And that provides even more, omni-channel consistency across those interactions. In addition, MiCloud Flex Contact Center is integrated with our UC platform called MiCloud. So conversations, are easily gone from internal to external customers. We have a very robust API built on MiCloud Flex, and that provides the ability for businesses that need to integrate, CRMs, ERPs. And one unique aspect of MiCloud Flex Contact Center is that even if you have custom profiles, we can provide means to integrate with that and to work around your workflow. So really your communication system should work for you. You don't have to adapt the way that your business runs today to adjust to a new UCaaS solution. And of course, we have that SOC 2 and HIPAA compliance, which is just something unique that we like to point out with MiCloud Flex. Okay, so expanded security and compliance. Again, coming back to that dedicated instance architecture. I mean, for a lot of customers, moving to the cloud can be a new or maybe scary thing. But because they're in dedicated instances, you can think of it as very similar to a private cloud system. This is just managed, on Mitel data centers, so there's a lot less IT management that's needed. But it's a pretty unique thing, and because we have MiCloud Connect as our multi-tenant solution, Mitel really feels like we have the most robust UCaaS portfolio, because you have multiple options, and really we have solutions that can meet just about any customer needs. And because of that dedicated instance, admins have the ability to control when their maintenance windows are, get a little bit more under the hood of their communication system. So if they have a little bit more IT background or telecom background, MiCloud Flex is a great way for them to leverage those skills and be able to just really make the system their own. That's what MiCloud Flex is all about. It's about flexibility. And then I have our service plans here. So similar to Connect, we have an Essentials, Premier, and Elite package. The real key things to note on here are that as you go up the ladder, each user can have more and more devices. So we're more plugged in than ever today. I myself, have an Apple Watch, a smartphone, a tablet. I've got multiple laptops. So being able to leverage multiple devices is pretty unique. In addition, with the Premier and Elite packages, you get the mobile client and PC soft phone. CRM integration is available in the Essentials and Premier package, but it is an add-on, and you do get that with the Elite package built into it. You also get a mobile soft phone, which is great for those road warriors and people on the go. You have fixed mobile convergence and dual handoff with Elite as well, so being able to go from a desk phone conversation to your mobile phone, not having to worry about what network you're on, is a great advantage. And then you'll see at the bottom, we also have geo-redundancy. So this is, before this was mandatory with MiCloud Flex, but we were getting some clients that, said, hey, maybe I don't need the added cost of geo-redundancy. I'm okay with a single data center option. And so we've made that, we really listened to their feedback and made that optional. So to kind of elaborate on that, these are the two deployment options that you now get with MiCloud Flex. And this was just introduced, I believe, earlier this month or late last month. So we have a single data center option, and that's using VMware high availability. So really, it can still provide that 4 nines of uptime, and for most customers, that's perfectly adequate, and that's all that they really need. But this has become the new baseline for MiCloud Flex, and it has brought the cost down a little bit. We've also made some adjustments to our pricing and kind of aligned our UCaaS portfolio to make it easier to quote. So if you need more information on that, I definitely recommend you work with your account manager, and they can provide you more information. And then, like I said, we still have the dual data center geo-redundancy option for enhanced availability. So this provides additional assurance, if there is some kind of disaster, if for whatever reason that data center is down or wiped out, then we can, instantly fall over to a redundant data center. In addition, because it's housed in 2 different locations, you can back up data. So, in the event that, there is something catastrophic, you do have a backup of that information. And then the increased availability of service. So 5 nines is, a huge topic in telecom, and it's really the holy grail of UCaaS. And so with MiCloud Flex, we're able to provide that for those businesses that really need that core voice functionality, nearly all the time. And then let's talk a little bit about a customer we're really proud of. We've worked very closely with the San Diego Padres and the MLB in general. And the Padres are a MiCloud Flex customer. And the reason they chose MiCloud Flex was for two reasons. One, obviously as a baseball team, they have a lot of road warriors who are hardly ever in the office. You know, they need that same consistent experience regardless of where they are. A lot of times they're out going to rookie camps and scouting for new players, or just traveling the globe, you know, to represent the brand across the world. So those road warriors are just as enabled as their office workers, given the advanced UC functionality in MiCloud Flex. And then in addition, pretty unique to the Padres, they were hosting the 2016 MLB All-Star Game. And if you can imagine, just like the Super Bowl or anything like that, you have a lot of people from out of town converging on your location. And those folks, you know, may not be familiar with your city, with your ballpark. And because of that, they knew they were going to experience larger call volumes. So they really wanted to provide a way for their contact center agents to provide a unique experience to all of those fans. And they were, and I got to say, it was a very successful MLB All-Star Game. In addition to this, I'd just like to mention that we are the official technology communications provider of the MLB, and you can find our phones and systems in every single ballpark across the country. All 30 stadiums are using Mitel in their dugouts, in their bullpens, and in the replay rooms. And because they're on a Mitel system, they're able to record those calls. If they need to be audited later, they're able to ensure security and really protect the integrity of the game, which, you know, is important to us. Okay, and then to just kind of round out the comparison, as Theresa mentioned, you know, we don't like to focus too much on a feature-to-feature comparison because, you know, it can, a lot of times, you know, discovery will uncover unforeseen needs, or things can be met through different methods. But here are a couple things that, you know, may or may not be deal breaker features for a customer. So with G Suite integration, MiCloud Connect is going to be a lot more robust when it comes to that. Really, if they're a Google shop, then MiCloud Connect is typically the better option for them. And if they want to always have automatic upgrades, MiCloud Connect provides that. Open Media and Open APIs, as I mentioned already, MiCloud Flex really checks the box there. Same thing with Omni-Channel Contact Center. MiCloud Flex is much more robust. For compliance, MiCloud Flex is a great way to go. And then here are a couple things that are coming soon to MiCloud Connect. So we hope over time, all of these boxes are checked for both MiCloud Connect and MiCloud Flex. So expect to see those. Software-defined WAN is on Flex today and coming soon to Connect. Multilingual support for companies that are, you know, really worldwide businesses that need, you know, localization in different languages. Flex has that today, and then we're working on that for Connect. Same thing with World Cloud for local numbers. You know, MiCloud Connect has some of those capabilities, but we're bringing World Cloud into MiCloud Connect, and then control over maintenance windows and upgrades. So that's really going to be Flex today and soon to be MiCloud Connect. Okay, and then I know we're running short on time, but a couple qualifying questions. You know, these are great things to just speak to the end customer about. If they're using SMS and social media, video, even if they're looking towards the future with IoT, MiCloud Flex is a great way to go because it is more of an open system. If you need your contact center to be highly customized, if you have a lot of third-party applications, MiCloud Flex is a better way to go. And then if they're looking for you know, control over those release and maintenance windows, today MiCloud Flex is going to be the way to go. And security and compliance, you know, Flex, as I mentioned already, has a few compliances that really make it a great platform for certain industries. So that's it. I'd just like to thank everybody. I'll pass it back to Dylan, and maybe we can do some Q&A.
Thank you, Dan. So it seems like there's one question from Avi, and it's, is there some integration with old systems like MX200 or phones like 5312, VoIP with cloud, or does it require to purchase completely new equipment?
That's an interesting question. I'll probably have to get back on that one in particular. We do our best to make our UCaaS platforms compatible with older equipment, but obviously, just given the technical limitations of the hardware itself, sometimes it's not a possibility. So I don't have the specifics exactly for that question, but I'd be happy to track down that information for sure.
Thank you, Dan. Seems like there's one more question from Rich. If you start a customer on Connect, can we move easily to Flex later if needed?
Theresa, do you?
Yeah, I was going to say,
Sorry,
there's not like a clear migration path. It would be as if they're purchasing a brand new system, just due to the differences in experience, and we'd have to, the difference in the infrastructure too. So like we mentioned, Connect is multi-tenant, whereas Flex is a dedicated instance. So they get their own private instance, which requires a lot more onboarding. So it is essentially a migration to a brand new system. There's not really an easier path just because it's a Mitel product.
And I'd like to just add to, I did see some customers come across recently that were actually My Voice Connect customers. So they were on Connect's on-site platform, and they were looking to migrate to a UCaaS solution, and they were actually able to successfully migrate to MiCloud Flex just because they needed some of that advanced customization that I provided. And I can't mention the name in particular, but they are a large insurance company. And the user count escapes me, but I remember it was pretty high. So, things like that get a little bit more complex. And typically we recommend, staying on Connect if you're moving from on-site to the cloud. But in a lot of cases, we can structure things to make that effective and work very well for certain businesses.
Yeah, and the benefit is, it's all Mitel, so we already have all the customer information. We're familiar with their workflows and things like that. So that's where the value comes in versus them going to, let's say a competitive solution. So it's a little bit more of a streamlined experience, but in terms of the back end and the user experience, it's going to be a migration as if it's a brand new system.
Yep, absolutely.
Awesome. Seems like Evie has another question. Is Mitel data center available in Canada?
Yes,
so
I do believe we have. Sorry, go ahead, Theresa.
On the Flex side, yes. On the Connect side, not at this time.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you, Theresa and Dan. I think that's all for the questions. Do you have any final closing remarks before we wrap up?
No, I'd just like to.
Make sure you're leveraging Make sure you're leveraging the assets and the training and stuff and your account managers, because we really are here to help you out and make your life easier. If these products are new, we have the My Access Partner Portal that gives you a ton of good resources. Check out our YouTube channel for training and videos, and really make sure that you're leveraging the Mitel team members that you have to feel confident in these solutions. And thank you for your time.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep, that was perfect, Theresa.
Yeah,
I was just gonna also say, My Access is a great resource for you. We're adding a lot more videos, as Theresa mentioned, to YouTube, so definitely recommend you check them out. We're happy to answer any questions that you folks may have after the webinar is over, or for any of those looking at the recorded version. So please do reach out, but just like to say I appreciate everybody's time.
Awesome. Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, That concludes the audio portion of today's Mitel webinar. You may now disconnect from the audio lines, but please feel free to stay online to submit additional text questions in the Q&A box below. Thank you again for joining us today.